So the Argentinian national anthem. Next up, it will be the Spanish national anthem, and then we'll hand over to the commentator Tony Lockwood for the first 45 minutes.
En nou, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Spain. Dames en heren, graag uw respect voor het volkslied van Spanje.
So one of the fancied teams in this championship, Spain, find themselves on the brink of a place in the last four, but up against them one of the South American heavyweights in Argentina. Referee from Mexico, Benito Achundia, and we're moments away from the last quarterfinal. This is the team that Francisco Ferraro goes with, and there is no Lucas Biglia, who has been so influential in midfield. A return for Juan Manuel Torres and a starting place for the striker Pablo Viti. And Inaki Saez goes with the following 11. Look particularly for the goal-scoring threat of Silva and Llorente, 9 goals between them. That's the message. Say no to racism as the two teams come together to get that message across on a world stage. You sense that if Argentina are to progress, they must stop the likes of Juan Fran and Fabregas. They're the match officials and the two captains. Zabaleta for Argentina and captaining Spain, Robaste. Lionel Messi of Argentina, who plays his club football with Barcelona, just 18 years of age. He is the big threat that Spain must look out for. They're the 10 substitutes for the opposing managers to choose from. Real strength on both of the benches this evening here in Enschede. That's the Argentina bench. There's his record, 5 in 3. He is the key man. Llorente of Athletic Bilbao is their leading scorer, and he's the one to watch, along with support from Silva, who's weighed in with 4 goals. And as previously mentioned, there's the man, Lionel Messi of Barcelona, top scorer. They haven't scored that many, despite a place in the last 4. It's 2 goals in 4 games. It's going to be Spain to get the first half underway, and if the other 3 quarterfinals are anything to go by, then there's the prospect of extra time and possibly penalty to loom large. So the final seconds before the last quarterfinal. And hopefully it's a match that can live up to all the expectation. It's towards Llorente. First touch for Starry. Zabaleta for Argentina. Teams meeting for a fourth time in this championship. Argentina ahead 2-1 in previous meetings. Zapata, ball is cut out. It's wasted by Barroso of Boca Juniors. Header on by Llorente. This is youth football's premier event, and for these two teams, the sternest test so far to see which of them can go the distance. Zabaleta challenging. Forward by Archubi. Jose Enrique with the throw for Spain, who've won this championship once previously. Argentina with a fabulous record at this level. 4 times winners, and that is only equalled by Brazil, away by the head of Malaga's Alexis. Well, Alexis again with a challenge, and Archubi is down and just gets to his feet rather gingerly. It's going to be a corner. There's a challenge that came in. Just caught Archubi there. Argentina have a corner. Pablo Viti inside the 6-yard area. Swung in towards the near post, and again, disappointing not to reach its intended target. Viti just tries to hold on to possession. And then Markel with well, a partial clearance. Again, high, bouncing ball, and just spinning wide. First real test on that Spanish goal, and on that man, Belribas of Espanyol. Just almost dropped for Molinero, and then finally just sliding wide of that post. Led in by Paletta, and towards the near post. Spain with every player back behind the ball to help defend. Argentina again. High ball drifted in there, back across the face of goal, and now Spain do have an opportunity to break forward. This is Silva, 4 goals already in the tournament. Oh, just trying to pick out Real Madrid's Juan Fran. Here he is. Will be one of the key players if Spain are to progress to the last 4 of this championship. Is Alberto Zapata. And now the captain, Robaste, captained the side in the earlier game against Chile. Spain cruising through the group stages and then disposing of Turkey 3-0 in the last 16, so their progression has been very impressive indeed. Argentina, well, they needed the goal in the final minutes of extra time to reach the last 8 at the expense of Colombia. Barroso. Spain's throw-in. Not the ideal preparation for the Spanish coach, who met up with his team just a couple of days before this tournament started, but they have got better as the event has gone on. Away by Robaste. He's trying to pick out Llorente. Dropping for Silva. Now Zapata. Now they can move forward. Molinero with the burst of pace, and now at the feet of Juan Fran. Clearance provided by Zabaleta. Spain's turn to try and press forward. The run for Juan Fran. And defence held held firm. There he is, the former national coach, Inaki Sayers, stepping down from that post after a very disappointing exit of Euro 2004, now in charge of the under-20s. Slipped by the start, he's still got length on the goal kick. And Markel just feels that challenge. Well, he made his La Liga debut last season. This is club football for Real Sociedad, just 19 years of age. Felt that challenge by Arjubi. There is Messi of Barcelona. 2 goals so far, and has already played Champions League football. With him, you suspect may be the best chance of an Argentine victory. El Ribas, the Spanish goalkeeper. Markel for Spain. Alberto Zapata. Fabregas is waiting in the central midfield. Haven't seen him involved in the opening exchanges. Molinero tries to find a way through. The clearance is by Paletta. Back in. It's too long for Silva, stretching to try and make the connection. There's one Fran. Played in the last final, incidentally, against Brazil in the United Arab Emirates, a game that Spain lost. It's having a highly productive championship so far, is Silva. Away by Ustari, met by the head of Markel, and then forward by Cesc Fabregas, player who broke into the Arsenal first team in terms of a debut at the age of 16. Done well to provide a cross, and well, it needed the intervention of Ustari. Llorente was there and posing a threat within that Argentine penalty area. Zabaleta. Now Barroso. Argentina chasing an unprecedented 5th world crown at this stage. Here is their captain. Messi will win the free kick. So dangerous running at opposition defences, and Zapata sealing a free kick, and we're only just a matter of yards outside that Spanish penalty area. Well, prospect of a left foot strike from Messi. Or could it be Cardozo with the right? Then Ribas in goal. It is Messi! And he finds his way through. Flag is up. And celebrations are cut short. Keeper couldn't hold on to it. Didn't see that until very, very late, but the flag of the assistant referee near side, and Argentina are denied what they thought was a legitimate goal, and Messi's joy and celebrations are cut short, and it's still Argentina 0, Spain 0, but an illustration of the threat that Messi will pose from set pieces. There he is again with the header down for Barroso. Now long towards Llorente. replays confirming the decision was a correct one to disallow that free kick from Messi. It's still Argentina 0, Spain 0. There's a look at it once again. Keeper saw it very, very late. El Ribas trying to search out Llorente. Forward by Robaste. Now Cesc Fabregas. This Spanish side, the vast majority of the squad play well for top-flight European clubs. Many may not have broken into the first team. Again, a lot of experience within these Spanish ranks. Every member of the squad played some part in the group stages. Robaste, the header on by Llorente. It'll drop for one front. Argentina then with a free kick to defend. It's a challenge on Spain's number 7. Chip towards that far post and it's looking for the header. There he was. 5 goals so far for Llorente. Just couldn't get any direction on it at all. Lifted forward and wide of the mark. Fabregas it was who floated it into that Argentine area. Beaten in the air by Zabaleta. It's with Cabral, player who's spent his career with the racing club. Now Messi, already looking dangerous in this first half. Carries a real threat going forward. Pablo Vitti. No way through for Barroso. Argentina have not lost to European opposition since won their reverse to Portugal in this very tournament back in 1995. Away by Robaste. Again, just wouldn't run for Llorente, but knocked forward by Fabregas. Now with Molinero. Just breaks down in midfield. Now Argentina can break forward, and there are plenty forward, including Messi. That's the second opportunity we've seen from a player who has really stamped his authority on the early stages. And it was a free header, and again very, very close to Argentina's opener. Zapata. Now Molinero. Frank continues his run and has done well to provide any sort of cross at all. Molinero. Towards that far post, it needed the intervention of Barroso. Game just beginning to open up. Still goalless. Here's Cardozo. Couple of goals for Messi so far in this tournament. Argentina have not been prolific goal scorers. The goalkeeper, though, Astari, has only conceded the 2 goals so far in this championship. Llorente losing out. This is Cesc Fabregas of Arsenal. Llorente has done well. It's the one player forward within that area, and it was the other striker who's scored at will so far in this tournament, Silva. Forward comes the captain of Spain, Robaste. Llorente causing real problems for that Argentine defensive unit. It's another corner. The Athletic Bilbao striker is getting on the end of crosses and free kicks, corners. It's comfortable enough for Ustari. Controlled by Messi. He's turning on the skill already. Beginning to show exactly what he's capable of at this stage. There was the chance. Keeper got hands to it, but it was Llorente's header. There is Spain's man at the moment. Zapata. Jose Enrique, forward by Silva. Towards one fan. Easy enough for Mika to allow that to run out. So that back four of Barroso, Cabral, Paletta and Formica. Well, I'm going to have to watch carefully the likes of Llorente and Silva. A goal disallowed. Some opportunities at both ends so far, and a very well contested game. Pablo Vitti. Free kick going against Jose Enrique. Cardozo stands over it. And Spain's turn to attempt to be resolute in defence. Forward comes Cabral. Half a dozen figures. Cardozo's free kick. And they have found a way through. And it's the captain, Zabaleta, who's stolen unmarked to make his impression. And this time, Argentina can celebrate. Another set piece. And a captain who leads by example. Zabaleta on the end of Cardozo's free kick, and the marking was non-existent. Argentina then making the breakthrough through their captain. Timed to perfection. And Spain defensively caught out. It's Argentina 1, Spain 0. Opportunity then maybe for Spain to respond positively. All the way through though for Alberto Zapata. There's the goal scorer. He scored also against Egypt, over 60 caps for the Argentine captain, Pablo Zabaleta. Early goal disallowed, assistant referee's flag on the near side, but nothing wrong with that effort. Zabaleta. Blocked by Silva. Maybe another opportunity to release the Argentine captain. Rolling through to Valdebebas. And Spain, who've looked so good so far, underlining their championship credentials, suddenly face their biggest setback yet of this tournament. And Argentina 1, Spain 0, 20 minutes play. Pablo Viti breaking through, and just needed Jose Enrique to come across. Them opening up for Argentina. Goal ahead and creating scoring opportunities. They won it in 79, in 95, in 97, and again in 2001. Could be heading towards a semi-final appearance. It's another free header. And again, it's the man who put them a goal up a few moments ago. They are simply not picking up Zabaleta from corners and free kicks. This was the moment when Argentina did make the effort count. Zabaleta connecting with the free kick by Cardozo. And he might have had a second. Spain defensively looking slightly vulnerable and distinctly shaky. Spain were beaten by Brazil in the final of the Under-17 World Championship in Finland. But in Cesc Fabregas, they had a player who walked away despite the disappointment of a final defeat with a Golden Ball and Golden Boot award, and maybe one of the key features of this Spanish side. Himself and Juan Fran, two that really are capable of making a difference at this level and on this stage. Alexis. There is Cesc Fabregas. Caution for Juan Manuel Torres, a player who's had his problems with the disciplinary side of the game. Sent off against Germany in the group stages, and caution for that challenge on Fabregas. Spain trailing by a single goal. Just delaying that free kick. Cabral is sticking very close to Llorente. Driven in. And a wasted opportunity. And frustration for Llorente. There it was again. Just too much height, too much pace in the end to ever trouble that Argentine defence. Messi losing out to Orbastay. Llorente. Never found its way through to Juan Fran. And now Spain are responding positively. Fabregas unable to find Silva. Long towards Pablo Viti. Came on against Colombia. He's kept his place in this Argentinian starting lineup. Jose Enrique's throw. Silva attempts to control. Llorente keeps it in. Now Zapata. Molinero. Getting to work the flanks and beginning to attempt to test that Argentine backline. Molinero with the goal-bound efforts. Getting forward with effect down that Spanish wide flank. Spain's only victory against Argentina dates back to 1989. They met in 95. Argentina winning 3-0 in the semi-finals of this very tournament. And that was, in fact, a year when they went on to win a second World Championship title. 2 years ago in the United Arab Emirates. Again, it was Argentina who triumphed against Spain, this time in the group phase. The score 2-0. Forward by Belribas. Theopata. Pavloviti. Alexis of Malaga. Spain then winners of this championship once before. Argentina have won it 4 times. And the man in charge, Francisco Ferraro, is trying to make it 5. Well, with just a single goal separating these two sides, it still keeps this contest very much alive. Spain's record in major finals is very, very impressive. They've not missed out on a major final round for the last 20 years. Talked about the experience they have, the likes of Juan on the books of Real Madrid. And this single goal deficit to Argentina is not insurmountable. They have time and they have the quality to find a way back into this match. Zabaleta's throw. Just trying to set Cardozo away. It was his free kick that created the opportunity for the Argentine captain. Barroso's throw. Robuste. Met by the head of Cabral. Alexis with the bandaged hand, just playing at the back alongside Robuste. Here is the captain of Spain. So heading towards the half-hour mark. And that goal by Zabaleta has made all the difference. Free kick is met there by the head of Alexis. There's defending to do. Here's Pavloviti. He's trying to turn away from Zapata. Now Fabregas for Spain. Push back all the time. The target, as always, is Llorente, who wins the free kick for the challenge by the Argentine captain. Fabregas for Spain. Monfran just runs into trouble and surrounded by 2 Argentinian players. Clearly worked on snuffing out the threats of Monfran. There he is again, and just has to make do with the throw on across. It was that came Juan Manuel Torres to block his path. Throw is towards Llorente. Does well. Again, Argentina are back in numbers to clear the danger. As says Fabregas, only 18. Of course, a bright future for him within the English Premiership, featuring for Arsenal. Robuste. Spain trying to find a way back into a match they trail by the single goal, and we're almost at the half-hour mark. Here is Juanfran attempting to release Moronero. And a striker back to help defensively, Pavloviti. Cut out by Robuste. And again, they're back in numbers. Jose Enrique. Now it's Silva with the run into Argentine territory, and well, Barroso is given the benefit of the doubt. Certainly felt there was a push there. Free kick goes Argentina's way. Some of the great players down the years have competed in World Youth Championships, and as Argentina play, a reminder that Diego Maradona was the best player at this championship way back in 1979. It's Argentina 1, Spain 0. And we've been playing just over 31 minutes. We had a goal disallowed, and then we've had the effort from Zabaleta that was true, and no problems at all. Spain with options on the bench, including Jonah of Espanyol if they need to change it in the second half. For the moment, they're responding with Molinero's cross. It's teed up nicely, and it's a wonderful equaliser. Alberto Zapata hitting that with a right foot strike that was always destined for the Argentine net. It's the perfect response. And Spain are back level. Well worked and struck with real power. Llorente just teeing it up, and Ustari in that Argentine goal unable to get a hand on it, driven into that bottom corner. And Alberto Zapata brings Spain back into this match. It's Argentina 1, Spain 1. Argentina's goal on 19. Spain respond on 32. Looks to be the sort of quarter-final that could go all the way. The others have been so close to call. Whoever wins this, the prospect of a super semi-final against Brazil. It's his first goal of the tournament for Spain's Zapata. Away by Alexis. Here is Zapata now. Fabregas, and Spain moving fluently. Silva. Enrique's run. Llorente's in the middle. That's lifted the Spanish camp. Always sensed with the quality within their squad that a single goal deficit was one they were more than capable of making up. Enrique just tangling there. Free kick given Argentina's way. Headed duel, which is won by Robestai, and then long towards Llorente. Here's Silva for Spain. Work there by Spanish number 9, and trying to exert pressure of their own. It is one front. He's trying to lose the attentions of Formica. Maxim, 20 years Markel of Real Sociedad. And there's a look at the possession favouring Spain, 58%. Spain are the current European champions at under-19 level. Title they won in Switzerland last year. Nicely played by Maxim. Now the captain. Playing with a degree of confidence that comes with an equalising goal. Fabregas trying to pinpoint Llorente. Up against Cabral. Whistle gone. So the frustration of Athletic Bilbao's Llorente is chasing a 6th goal in this World Youth Championship. Just judging the ball had crossed the line. Well, though, to beat the Argentine defender Cabral in the first place. Then he's had an eventful first 35 minutes or so. Been well involved, leading the line, putting plenty in the air. There he is again. Just losing out in the challenge. Well, it's Cabral that goes to ground. A few untidy challenges. And there's one example. So 1-1 as we head into the last 8 minutes of this first half. Of course, at this stage of the tournament, we're level after 90. As in the other games, it's extra time, and then, of course, the prospect of sudden death penalties to decide which of these teams goes through to the last 4. Montes held it up very well indeed. Messi quick to try and seize on the loose ball. And then on the end of that quickly taken throw-in, Barcelona's Messi. Silva for Spain. Fabregas just beaten in the tackle by Cabral. Fouled by Marcal. Referee from Mexico, Benito Alchundia. Just caught there by Markel. Argentina's opportunity in turn to threaten. The goal scorer, Zabaleta, takes his place inside that area. Barroso is forward, so is Paletta. And the obvious target, Pablo Viti. Messi just walks away, trots forward into that Spanish area, which gives them another option from this set piece. Already scored from a free kick. Again, it was aimed towards the head of the Argentine captain, Zabaleta. Let's get forward with real effect from those free kicks and corners. There's another example. Just too high in the end for the captain of Argentina. He's already scored one and threatened to score another away by Melribas, and then let's give it against Juan Manuel Torres. A little push on the back of Cesc Fabregas. Orbaste for Spain. Llorente. Nicely done by Zapata. And Argentina have a goal kick. Just Paletta getting back there to frustrate Spain. And to stop Silva from making any real progress. Argentina then having the better of their previous meetings. We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half. Deadlocked at 1-1 here. Final game of this championship to be played at Enschede Stadium. Archibia was crossed to avert the danger. It's too long for Pablo Viti. And a very close call, this encounter. Possible to predict what we have in offer in the second half. Argentina beginning positively, disallowed goal, then the one that did count from Zabaleta, but Spain themselves responding positively, level through Zapata, and the prospect of more goals we hope to follow in the second 45. Heading into the final minutes then of this well-matched first half, Argentina with a free kick, the winners to take on Brazil in the semis. It's broken down, but won back well by Achubi. Through ball for Messi. And just running the wrong side of the post with Ribas committed. It's another sign of what the young Barcelona-based footballer is capable of. Away from his defender, keeper advanced and he's got the angle wrong, but so quick to pounce on any loose ball and any half chance for Argentina. He would appear to carry their biggest threat yet, Messi. Interesting to see whether Francisco Ferraro, the Argentina coach, decides to introduce Lucas Biglia to the second half action. Really does pull the strings for Argentina in midfield. Finds himself on the subs bench. Just a reminder of the strength in depth within this Argentine squad. Mustada's clearance. That is Messi, just holding off Jose Enrique. Fabregas wins the ball back for Spain. Now Markel. Alexis. Just looking for players to make movements off the ball. It's launched long and towards the on-running Molinero. It's a well-delivered clearance. It's set Argentina on the front foot. And there's space here for Zabaleta. Now Messi. It's off a Spanish player and behind for a corner. Messi looking for that audacious chip. What has been a very eventful first half for the Argentine. Number 18 is now across to take what could be the final corner of this first half. Header clear by Rubasday. Still danger. Argentina can threaten. Archubi's ball back in. Cardoso. Flying header from Barroso in the end. Well, some neat build-up play. Rising well, but again, unable to keep the header down. He's created quite a lot. Cardoso, it was his free kick that led to Zabaleta's opening goal. 1-1 the scoreline. And we're into the last minute of normal time as the ball is returned for Ribas to clear, and clear quickly. Valente. Now the goal scorer Zapata, and Molinero can bomb forward, and Juan Fran can provide some support for Spain, and full of running and plays it Zapata. It's a good build-up play, comes back out to Juan Fran, and the flag had gone up far side. But Zapata involved in the initial build-up play, linking up very effectively. Ball was played through and Fran found himself in an offside position. Messi driving forward and then just played a little bit too short for Zabaleta. Llorente, frustrated by the assistant referee's flag far side, but seen enough of the ball to suggest that he is going to be a threat in the second half as well for Spain. Operating as this lone striker. So again, nothing to choose between a South American heavyweight and one of Europe's most fancied teams. Spain were always among the favourites for this World Youth Championship. And we reach half-time. And the goal by Zabaleta gave Argentina renewed hope. But it was a lead that wasn't to last too long, as Alberto Zapata gave Spain an equaliser on 32 minutes, and it's Argentina 1, Spain 1 at the break.
Okay, 1-1. Now a chance for you to win a fantastic prize. Welcome back to Escudé. The score 1-1. Goals from Zabaleta, the Argentinian captain, in the 19th minute. Then Spain equalising in the 32nd minute with a goal from Zapata. Let's have a look at some of the highlights then. In the 10th minute, there was an effort from Spain. Messi had a bit of a chance in the 10th minute when it was a disallowed goal. There was a free kick coming in. Barroso was deemed offside. If you can just see there, he was just holding back there, deemed offside. He was interfering with play, so therefore the goal didn't stand. Then in the 19th minute, Zabaleta, the captain, a great free kick cross from Cardozo, and that's totally unmarked there. Look at the marking there. I mean, non-existent really. So Zabaleta finished well, made the score 1-0. Then, as I say, 13 minutes later, a goal from Spain. Again, a well-worked goal. The cross from Molinero. Llorente laying it off for Zapata. And a very, very good finish. Molinero, Llorente there. Beautiful touch, holds the man back. And the great finish from Zapata. That made the score 1-1. So anyway, let's have a look what else we've got to look forward to on Lim. Tomorrow, the semi-finals of the Confederations Cup. Germany, that should be a fantastic game. Germany versus Brazil. That's 12:47 GMT. Then after that, Mexico versus Argentina. And that's at 15:47 GMT. So make a date in your diary for those two tomorrow. Okay then, all to play for here. Remember, this game has to play to a finish. There's extra time, and then after extra time, if it's still all equal, and here's a substitution for Argentina. Oberman is on for Pablo Viti. Interesting substitution that for Argentina. Clearly they feel they need a bit more strike power. So let's hand over to Tony Lockwood for the next 45 minutes.
World Youth Champions, Brazil. Argentina won, Spain won. It was Spain who lost to Brazil 2 years ago in the last final of this championship, which was held in the United Arab Emirates. The header by Paletta. Now an early touch for Cabral. There's the goal scorer for Spain, Zapata. Done it by Juan Fran. Llorente. Returns the compliments. And Argentina concedes the corner. Juan Manuel Torres it was. Llorente and Juan Fran linking up and combining very effectively indeed. Silva will take this first corner of the second half, and easy enough collection for Ustari. Just played short for Zabaleta and then helped on by Gustavo Oberman. Achubi just slipping there, and Belaribas can clear his lines, and was given against Llorente there. 5 goals so far in this championship. Their leading scorer for Spain. Cleared by Molinero. Spain, earlier on in the group stages, were able to field a reserve team against Honduras and still won at something of a canter. If ever an illustration was needed of just how strong the defending European under-19 champions are, and also one of the most fancied teams going into this World Youth Championship. Alberto Zapata. Here's Cesc Fabregas. Came back well from the setback of conceding the goal to Zabaleta. It's been one weakness so far. It's been their defensive vulnerabilities, particularly from set pieces. Their coach, who stepped down as coach of the national team after their exit from Euro 2004. Free kick was aimed towards Gustavo Obermann. Molinero for Spain. It's cut out there by Archubi. At the moment, two sides cancelling each other out. Zabaleta could see nothing wrong with the challenge. There's the coach of Argentina, Francisco Ferraro. Man who came in for Hugo Tocali, who'd been in charge for the last 4 World Championships. Llorente loses out. Zabaleta with space to carry the ball forward. Obermann challenged by Juan Fran. Still with Argentina. Achubi. Just losing the ball in that final third. Cabral. Slayed off by Barroso to Zabaleta. Good build-up play. And then the headed clearance by Alexis. Pressure is still there. Formica can make sure of that and provide the cross. Worth the effort. Cardozo it was. Just dropped for the Argentine, number 16. Keeper at full stretch, but again, always going wide. He's created the chance that led to the goal as Cardozo, one of Argentina's set-piece specialists. Won well by the head of Llorente, just freeing Silva, who produces a cross. It's back out to Zapata. He's trying to work that ball through. Again, that last line of defence at the moment under some real pressure. Fabregas rolled wide for Juan Fran, on the books of Real Madrid and one of their danger men. First time cross, which is dealt with and volleyed clear by Formica. Back out to Robastai. Fabregas. And they can come forward through Zapata. Well matched at 1-1 and 6 minutes of this second half played. This is the final quarter-final to be contested. Already Brazil, Morocco and Nigeria have booked their place in the final 4. Llorente, Silva's ball, and just too far in front of Cesc Fabregas, who acknowledges the pass, almost able to seize onto it. Ustari's boots into Spanish territory, brought down by Robastai, and over halfway, and Juan Fran, and now Llorente, and back again to the Spanish number 7, full of running, creating a chance. Going down, referee was well placed, and play continues, and Argentina can bring the ball out of defence through their captain Zabaleta. In pursuit was the substitute Gustavo Obermann. There he is, player who replaced Pablo Viti at half-time. is the Argentine captain, Zabaleta. Again, a very congested midfield area. Spain have just found a free man in Llorente. Now Silva, and worked wide for Molinero, and the 1-2, which was read well by Aljubi. Spain came through a qualification group that meant they had to beat the likes of Germany, Turkey and Poland. Argentina, well, they were third, rather disappointing, in the South American Championship behind Colombia and Brazil. They went in as tournament holders, but wasn't the most auspicious of performances. Beat the likes of Venezuela, drew with Chile, Uruguay and Colombia. Real problems for Stari in that Argentine goal. On Fran it was. Back off the advertising hoardings, and nothing going for Spain's number 7. Robastai, the captain of Spain. Argentina began in disappointing fashion with that surprise defeat against the USA, but since then they found their form. Spain have been among the most impressive teams in this championship. Swept through qualifying, and too strong for Turkey in the last 16. Well played by Juan Fran, just getting away from Rosso for a moment and then trying to play in Fabregas. Blocked again by that Argentinian defence. And sliding in was Oberman. It's the one card so far in the first half to Argentina's Juan Manuel Torres. And the one substitution. Spain yet to change their playing personnel. Llorente losing out. Cabral for Argentina. Read well by Jose Enrique. And Juan Fran is bundled to the floor. Spain trying to emulate their achievements of 2 years ago, when they were beaten in the final by Brazil. If they get through this encounter, then that will be the ideal opportunity to avenge that defeat in the United Arab Emirates, because they will meet the defending champions, Brazil. Just wasted. Straight into the grateful hands of Ustari, who clears. The free kick is given Argentina's way. Cardozo was the player fouled. Messi. Molinero and Fabregas, and now Zapata. Finally away by Balibas. Foul on Fabregas. Just celebrated his 18th birthday, the Arsenal and Spain midfield player. In possession again. Attempting to find some space and create a chance. Another challenge, another free kick. This time Aljubi is the guilty party. 2 first-half goals, but nothing so far in the opening 12 minutes of this second half. Here is Llorente. Goal scorer for Zapata. Fabregas. Freeing Silva. Full of running. And then Fabregas runs into a wall of Argentinian players. And it's back with Belribas in that Spanish goal. Argentina needed a goal right at the death in the final moments of extra time to reach the last 8 at the expense of Colombia. And they have to defend now. It's Silva. It's a chance for Spain. It's an excellent block to deny the Spanish striker the space required. Here he is again. Back heel, almost playing in Molinero. And then the chase is on for Messi. Thought he was impeded off the ball by Alexis. Markel for Spain. Valente turning away from Cabral. Juan will run at Barroso. And the Argentine defender wins that particular battle. Only Messi so far in Spanish territory. Now he's joined by Cardozo. There's the captain, Zabaleta. Forcing his way forward, but rather easily dispossessed. Now away goes Jose Enrique. It's an encouraging run. And stopped by some tenacious defending by Cabral, who was just blocked there. Good initial run by Jose Enrique. Plays for Levante. Hasn't featured in their first team yet. It's coming towards the hour mark, and we're locked at 1-1. Europe's last representative, Spain. There's their coach, having been in charge of the national team, up against, of course, the man that we just glimpsed a moment ago in picture, Francisco Ferraro. And turning into a very, very close encounter indeed. Spain beating Morocco comfortably in their opening game. Then they really produced some exhibition football against Chile, winning by the huge margin of 7-0, and still able to put out almost a reserve team against Honduras. And again, they succeeded with a 3-goal margin of victory. Away by Belribas, met by the head of Zabaleta, back in by Robastai. Full of running. Fabregas and just eluding Silva. Seeing more of the ball, says Fabregas. There he is. Midfielder is beginning to exert some control on the second half proceedings. Markel. Robastai for Spain. Haven't made a change yet. Molinero getting far forward. Flag has gone up. It will be an Argentine free kick. It's been a feature of Spain's attacking play. The forays forward down this right flank from Molinero. It's as if we may well see another change. Argentina have decided to dispense of the services of Archubi. The last that we're going to see of Archubi. And they're waiting to come on. Fernando Gago. So Fernando Gago is on, joining another second half substitute in Gustavo Obermann. 2 changes then made by Francesco Ferraro. Spain staying with that starting 11. Here's Silva, now supported by Fabregas, who is fouled. Player that's just come on, Fernando Gago, Boca Juniors, is where he plays his club football. The prospect then of extra time if we cannot separate these teams after 90. Forward by Zabaleta. Just held up for a moment by Obermann, but Spain have possession back with Fabregas and now Silva. Just trying to turn away from Formica. Has turned into a game of cat and mouse, but Fabregas has got away from his defender. It's dragged back for Llorente, and has the chance gone? Still Llorente. Now for Pato. It's a super free ball through in the end to Frises Fabregas, but when it was played to Llorente, chance had gone. Now Molinero. Spain trying to dictate the pace. It's kept in by Silva. He's got Formica to find a way past. Deep 1-2. Llorente, good chance, Spain. Final ball just wouldn't drop for Fabregas, and Argentina will clear. Spain turning on the second half pressure. Touch for Fernando Gago. Enrique, and then Ribas' driven clearance. 20 minutes of the second half. It's still Argentina 1, Spain 1. Obermann's ball, and it's read by Robastai and then cleared into touch. It was always likely to be a very close encounter, two well-matched teams, and it has proved that way with absolutely nothing to choose between them. Argentina taking the early advantage and also having a goal disallowed, and then Spain coming back strongly. And in the second half, seeing a fair degree of possession. Met by Enrique. Dropped off for Juan Fran, now with Markel. Finding the feet of supporting colleagues. Silva. Neat, tidy build-up, but it's getting beyond that Argentine defensive line. Llorente holding off the challenges. Markel. And Juan Fran just managing to keep the ball in. Hopeful volley by Enrique. And Belibas will clear. Well, the suggestion at the start was that if Argentina were to progress, then they would have to stop the likes of Juan Fran and Fabregas taking a hold on the game. We have seen more of both of Spain's key performers, but Argentina still at 1-1. Slightly quieter though from Messi, who's been their star performer. Hasn't seen so much of the ball in this second half. Made the changes with the introduction of Gustavo Obermann up front. to support Messi. Really been troubled in the second half for Belribas in the Spanish goal. Morente's header on. We started with some 24 teams whittled down to 16 and then to 8. And at the conclusion of this dramatic encounter, we'll be down to the last 4 of this, the 15th World Youth Championship. In 2 years' time, it'll be hosted by Canada. Brazil are the current defending champions and already through to the last 4, chased by Barroso. Kept in by the Argentine, number 4. Gago, no way through, it breaks kindly for Juan Fran. He's trying to find the feet there of Lorente, and then one back by Fabregas, and then driven into touch. Paletta it was with the forceful clearance. A referee this evening is from Mexico. Only the 1 card so far. It's been well contested. Torres, the player in the referee's book for the only caution of the game, is Cabral for Argentina. Still attempting to find a way through. The goal scorer Zabaleta goes down, and Spain can bring it away through Enrique. Well, one back by the determined challenge of the Argentine captain, and a touch from Fernando Gaga. Well, on the current evidence, it's looking increasingly as if we are going to require extra time. 2 defences that are just shutting out their strikers. That might be about to change. It's an opportunity, and it's been taken by Gustavo Oberman. Well, it was a delightful through ball. Belribas was committed and advancing off his line, and the chip was absolutely perfect. Argentina strike on the 70th minute mark. Just onside, and as the keeper came out, the chip was just perfect, and Gustavo Oberman, who came off the bench, makes his mark on this quarter-final encounter here in Enschede. It's Argentina 2, Spain 1. So, just when the crowd were thinking of the possibility of extra time, for the second time in this match, Argentina forge ahead. They had done so in the first half through Zabaleta. What is Spain's response going to be? Challenge is a fair one, and the patter is denied. And Spain will quite understandably certainly lift the tempo. They trail to a Zabaleta goal. It was Alberto Zapata that brought them level before the break, and now Gustavo Oberman with Argentina's 2nd goal of the evening. There's their coach, Francisco Ferraro. Glorious goal by Argentina's star performer. Well, he was picked out as the one to watch for Spain, but there's nothing they could do to contain Messi with a special goal in a quarter-final that suddenly swings Argentina's way. First touch was super, second touch exceptional, and the third just rolled beyond the keeper, and Argentina closing on a semi-final berth in a World World Youth Championship, thanks to Messi's spectacular build-up. Like, it's a very, very good goal, and Argentina are in real control. It's Argentina 3, Spain 1. 2 goals in 2 minutes, and Spain are facing elimination. Oberman and Messi have made the difference at a time when there seemed nothing to separate these two teams. And Argentina are on course still for a 5th world crown, and no one in world football has managed this at this level. Only Brazil with 4 level their South American rivals. What a semi-final that would be. Argentina to face Brazil. It looks on at the moment, unless Argentina squander this 2-goal advantage. 3-1 up, just over 15 minutes remaining. Cleared by Ustari. Headed away by Alexis. Helped on by Zapata. Spain up against it. The defending European champions facing a quarter-final exit. Just couldn't link up Fabregas with Silva. 4 goals to that man's name, Silva, but Messi exceptional, and it's 3 and 5 for Argentina's top scorer of the tournament. Well, Spain have resisted the temptation so far to make changes. That is about to change. One Fran is off, Jonah and Gavilan on. The other player to be withdrawn is Llorente. Well, they had to do something. It's a late gamble, but at this stage of affairs, they've got to chase this game, which is running away from them. 15 minutes left. Argentina 3, Spain 1. It's a card, and he's only been on the pitch a matter of seconds. On the receiving end, Juan Manuel Torres. Gavilan, who has come on, plays his club football for Tenerife. Jonah for Espanyol. And already a booking for Spain's number 10, and chasing a game, and time is very much not on their side. Argentina, after a disappointing start to their group phase, have found their form and have produced the goals required to take them through to the last 8, be it with a late strike against Colombia, and now in the last 8 against Spain. 2 goals in 2 minutes have turned the match Argentina's way, and they are playing with real confidence. There's one Fran. Spain's bench is almost resigned to defeat Llorente there, and his chances. He's been the tournament's top scorer at his World Youth Championship adventure could be about to come to an end. 13 minutes separate them, and defeats and a place for Argentina in the last 4, and just in with the challenge, Alexis. Argentina finding space. Molinero is back, and then hook clear by Urubastai. Jonah just caught the heels there of Fabregas. Fernando Gago. Formica. And able to continue his run into the area. Just squared and still not away. Wide by Fernando Gago, but the chance was a good one, created by Argentina's determined running. And everything is going right for their coach, Fernando Ferraro. They've taken 2 of the chances to come their way in the second half. And those 2 goals in 2 minutes have left Spain with a big, big ask. Molinero. Zapata. Now the mistake by Jonah, just allowing the ball to roll away from his feet. Spain's number 10 also had to go in goal earlier in this tournament against Honduras. No way through for Gabala. And away by Zabaleta, whose goal gave Argentina a first half lead. Spain, European under-19 champions. Once previously they won this World Youth Championship. They came in as one of the most talked about and fancied teams in this tournament. They've moved through to the last 8 with comparative ease, but they found Argentina on the current evidence just 1 hurdle too many. Just a couple of yellow cards, 4 goals, and Argentina in control. Fabregas. Trying to create down that left-hand side. They've won a corner. Jose Enrique just getting forward. It's a corner that Fabregas will take, and Robastai will come forward. 5 in the middle. Swung in dangerously towards that near post, and Argentina just relieved to get it away from the danger area. Just troubling Ustari there, who had to punch under pressure from Jonah. There's Molinero. Spain still chasing a way back into this match with under 9 minutes of normal time remaining. Robastai. Now Zapata. Fabregas. Silva. Still full of running. Still heads held high. Not giving this one up yet. Spain about to make another change. Alberto Zapata is the player that's being sacrificed with 8 minutes remaining. Might have scored a goal, but the decision to bring on Victor for the closing minutes, it's the final gamble that's being taken by Spain's coach, who used to, of course, be in charge of the national team after a disappointing Euro 2004. He stood down. He's now in charge of Spain's under-20 side. Fabregas. Jonah might try his luck, deflects, and comfortable enough for Ustari. Argentina made hard work of their last 16 fixture against an excellent Colombian team. But their second half performance here in Schkeda this evening has given them a 2-goal margin with not too long left to go. Silva can't control. Fabregas will win it for Spain and then steer it out to that far side. And here is Fabregas again, driving forward. Tackle was well timed by Fernando Gago. Fortunately for Spain, Alexis was back. Frustrating evening for the Malaga centre-back. Disappointed the way they've conceded those 2 goals in 2 minutes, although when you see a player of the exceptional quality of Messi, there's not a lot you can do to contain a footballer of his wonderful skills. It really was a fabulous effort. Argentina then edging ever closer towards a semi-final position. Beat firmly by the head of Barroso. Now for Messi, looking for his second, and again it was Alexis getting across to deny Argentina's number 18. There's Llorente, Spain's leading goal scorer, coming to terms with a World Youth Championship exit. Got the corner short and saved by Valdebebas. Montenegro for Spain. Argentina 3, Spain 1. We're into the final 5 minutes. Argentina won this championship way back in 1979. They won it in 95, in 97 and 2001. Is this going to be the year when they make it 5 victories, which has not been done before in the history of this championship? One hopeful ball which is floated in. Just no joy for Spain. It's just not running their way. Markel's ball was just caught easily by Valdebebas. Spain again. Fabregas. Debelan running at that Argentine defence. It's Messi. Now Oberman. Barroso given away rather cheaply. Silva. Jonah. Now Montenegro can join the attack and get the angle for the cross. Got it away first time by Cabral. Spain, well, they've got to push players forward at this stage of proceedings. Silva turning away from defenders. Montenegro getting inside his marker and needed the challenge there of Paletta. Well, the Argentine defender just got in there with a determined and well-timed challenge. Just as Montenegro threatened inside that 18-yard area. Well, Argentina haven't lost to European opposition since 1995. It was in a World Youth Championship. They went down to Portugal by a single goal. It looks very much as if they're going to keep that proud record intact. Into the last 2.5 minutes, Argentina have a player down. Play continues, and then just knocked out of play. Almost there, and setting up some semi-final a South American battle. Brazil and Argentina will go head-to-head in the last 4. Time then to be added on at the end of the 90. Spain wanting play to resume, understandably, as quickly as possible. Stretcher on. And Argentina's coach, who's helped mastermind the success, and there's the man in charge of the Spanish cause, one which is going to end in disappointment. Aside from a miracle for Spain, there's the clock ticking down towards 90. And of course the other semi-final brings together, in an all-African affair, Morocco and Nigeria. Nigeria earlier today in the other quarter-final, winning through in an extraordinary game on penalties, 10-9. We almost now know the final 4 teams to compete this, the 15th FIFA World Youth Championship. Stretch it off is Valletta, and they're going to make a change right at the death. Just helps count down the seconds. So job done for Argentina. The player that was stretching off a moment ago, Gabriel Paletta, is off. Garret is on for the, well, final moments. The 90 minutes is almost upon us, and then it'll be stoppage time. Time added on at the end of the 90. 2 goals in 2 minutes have made the difference in this second half. Spain have still not given this up, still looking for a way back, despite the fact that the 90 minutes are up, continuing to press forward. That sums up their evening. Victor it was, and just couldn't make the necessary connection. There's Paletta limping away. Our thanks go to NOS for their match coverage, our host broadcaster. They've been with us throughout this championship. We'll continue, of course, with the semi-final action. Says Fabregas about to end up on a losing side, as is Alexis, and the coach resigned now to quarter-final exit. Argentina are almost there. One final clearance. A header on by Victor. Tied it up at the back, and Ustari can clear into the final minute. Spain's World Youth Championship adventure is about to come to a painful end. Losing finalists 2 years ago, and now going out in the last 8 of the tournament. Torres just trying to release Messi. Needed the header there of Alexis, and now picked up by Silva. Just runs into Argentinian players. It's 3-on-1. He's rather outnumbered, and here's Messi, who's been one of their better players, and, well, right at the death. Victor, a little bit of frustration, boiling over with the result and the rash challenge in a game has been well contested and has lacked a number of yellow cards, and now we have 2 in quick succession. Alexis has had too much to say, and it's just rather unnecessary. There was the first one. Rash and unnecessary from Victor. Then Maxim. Alexis had too much to say, and we've seen the two cautions, and we're almost at that final whistle. One final Argentine free kick, if we have time. Job done on that Argentinian bench. Referee just making sure Moronero is back the allotted yards. Wide from Fernando Gago. Not that it'll matter, it's the final action of the last quarter-final, and Argentina are through to the last four. Spain go out. Messi in picture there, helping to make the difference with their third goal. And for Molinero and his Spanish teammates, they'll have to come to terms with the pain of a World Youth defeat. It's Argentina 3, Spain 1, full-time in Enschede.
So there we are then. We know now who's in the semi-finals. Another very entertaining game of football. It was Argentina who broke the deadlock in the first half with a goal from their captain Zabaleta. Great cross from Cardozo, and the marking, it has to be said, was a little bit poor in the Spanish defence. But Zabaleta opened up the scoring. But then 13 minutes later in the first half, a goal came from Spain, from Zapata. The ball laid off from Llorente. The cross coming in from Molinero, superbly held up by Llorente. Here, look, he holds the ball up, holds the man off, and then a great finish from Zapata. That made the score 1-1 at half-time. Here's the reverse angle. Very nice goal, that. So 1-1 the score at half-time. The game finally poised. Then Oberman came on at half-time, and it looked like he was going to add something in attack, and he certainly did. In the 71st minute, Oberman with a great goal, making the score 2-1. Beautiful ball through, and a lovely chip finish there by Oberman, Argentinos Juniors player. Here you can see again, lovely chip over the top, the reverse angle. And then just 2 minutes later, Argentina struck again through Messi. It was a poor clearance, it has to be said, by Molinero in the Spanish defence, but some fantastic skill from Messi to finish the ball. Here we go, first touch, look at that touch, and then a great finish, left foot, beautiful. Again there, 3-1. Francisco Ferraro happy with the result, and that means now that Argentina in the first semi-final will face Brazil. These games you'll be able to see on Tuesday, the 28th of July. It's an all-South American affair in the first semi-final, and then the second semi-final will be an all-African affair. What it means, the final will be a South American team and an African team. Morocco, Nigeria, don't miss that one, should be fantastic. Before that, let's have a look at a competition and an amazing prize you can win.